Welcome to, I believe it would be episode number 26 of Fractal Radio, the official vlog of the Fractal Journal. Today I woke up at 9 p.m. because, as I've said ad nauseum, I work the AM shifts and my circadian rhythm is a bit wonky. Today is a Wednesday, which means that I was already supposed to have uploaded the sketch of Sam Monroe, but I'll probably only start getting to writing it now, along with the daily poem. All that minutia out of the way. What I want to talk about today is just a couple of little bits and pieces of what I'm going to term useful information, which is in fact going to be the title of this particular vlog. Just little general observations that I think are probably somewhat useful. Okay, this is what has always been annoying me ever since I was in high school, and there was this fellow that was in my study hall. And he fancied himself some kind of a psychologist with deep insights. And he told me, hey, if your eyes move to the left or to the right or which direction, that indicates XYZ thing about what you're thinking. And that's entirely possible. Now, I'm someone who has severe congestion problems. I'm not originally from South Carolina, so I think that factors into it. But, look. There's a number of physiological things that happen that make your facial expressions do things that have nothing to do with the content of your mind. And believing that you have access to information about a person's background thoughts on something that just tenuous is ridiculous. And unfortunately, I think it's a more and more widespread phenomenon as we enter into the age of information and people find these like life hacks or these insights. The pop psychology becomes more and more of a problem. Like I did a video a few videos ago of, my dog is so loud when he licks himself. But anyway, I did a video, dog, stop. I did a video a few videos ago about the word dopamine and dopamine feedback loops and things because I found an article on Psychology Today debunking it because I was so annoyed of hearing about it. I'm not any kind of psychologist or neuroscientist, but I've read Antonio Damasio's books. I've taken like one psychology course in community college, which I failed because I was lazy and I didn't care. But I still gathered enough from that to understand that the way that this description of when you go to Facebook, it releases a dopamine feedback loop mechanism in your brain and you're just addicted. No, not at all. It's not that simple. And the thing about it is that's troublesome, even if it has like a somewhat by a weird angle kernel of truth, is that whenever people invoke the brain or neuroscience or dopamine this or that, it lends them an air of credence, and then you start taking on board all sorts of weird and fanciful notions that don't help you navigate your life. So now, oh, well, Facebook makes you more depressed. Does it, or does Facebook actually bring forward and highlight the behaviors that are problematic in our society? And maybe the fact that you're interfacing with them in that particular way is because of your own problems. And I'm not here like to defend Facebook. I think it's a terrible platform that does kind of cynically prey on people's predilections. But simplifying it like that and then putting the blame on some kind of really simplistic mechanistic system of like dopamine hits is like, it's not helping anybody to do anything. But it does make the person who is presenting that information appear to be intelligent and smart and wise and in the know about the brain. Yeah. So sleep is very, very important. Since we're talking about psychology, it gets me thinking of sound mental health. And man, as someone who works AM shifts, I often struggle with the sleep patterns. That's most of America and the world really nowadays in the age of all of these electronic gizmos. And what I found useful, since this is the useful vlog, is understanding that, holy crap, these people are probably tired and their reactions that drive you insane. Like, why would this person say XYZ or do XYZ? Probably might have a lot to do with their fatigue. Just like if a person is looking to the right or whatever the hell that kid said, that doesn't mean that they're lying or thinking of a lie. That just might mean they have an itch in their nose or they saw a fly. You have to understand that people function in this weird biopsychological framework, and it's it'll help you be more merciful to yourself and others if you come to the understanding that we are all under enormous stress, even in the first world. And here's another thing. Okay, so I think that it's valid to make criticisms of people who are just ridiculous little sissies about things all the time. Because come on, you don't have to walk several miles to fetch dirty water for your village. No, you don't. But that doesn't mean that in the context of where you're at, stuff doesn't suck unduly. And when people constantly just default to saying, "Oh, toughen up, Buttercup," I literally saw a soccer mom regale the bag boy about toughening up, like how she had told somebody to toughen up. And I said, dude, woman, you're probably, not necessarily, I mean, she might do something, but you're probably living, just based on the area where I'm at and the kind of lifestyles that people have, off of your husband's dime. Your biggest worry is getting your spawn to go and play soccer. And yeah, I just, there's too much finger pointing and being like, toughen up, Buttercup, without addressing issues that might need addressing. Like my 70s collar. Why am I wearing these weird retro clothes? Well, I have a friend that gave me some clothes that he had. Because I took on a marketing job, and he used to work in a place where he had a lot of need to wear collared shirts. Now, this was back in the day of Kinko's copies. And I think this is even more dated than Kinko's, but he was like in the 90s probably wearing stuff that he wore in the 70s. So now I have all these clothes, and I am not insecure enough to wear these, even though I find them incredibly tacky. Like, what was this? I don't understand. It's like a paper airplane eating my neck. Then again, a lot of great music came out of the 70s, so whatever. But anyway, I kind of segued away from that topic. This is just kind of an informal thing of ideas that I'm throwing out there, and I need to go ahead and go because I need to start writing things now. Thanks so much for listening. Hope you find this useful, and take care.